Okay, should be working right now. Let's see. Okay, should be working right. Okay, seems like I can hear myself. A little bit of a delay, but that's it. Hey, what's up, Oliver? How are you doing? I think you've been the only one who is waiting. Let's see. I just posted on Facebook. Hopefully, someone gonna chime in as well. We got 4 people. Great. How are you guys doing? This live stream is not gonna be something specific. I just really wanted to just kind of actually go live and just discuss different things that you guys asking me all the time, basically through messages or comments or whatnot, because I'm receiving so many messages with different questions. So I figured maybe it's gonna be even easier if we can just do it live on YouTube like that, and other people can as well learn. And it's basically just a casual hanging out. So yeah, nothing too serious. Yeah, just the first live. Curious how it's gonna go. Hey, what's up, Jamie? How are you doing, buddy? I hope you can hear me well. I think I tested everything and sounds good. So the quality of the camera is really good as well. Unless, of course, I can. There is a little bit too harsh of a light in front of me, so it might be a little bit too much. But I think it looks pretty good, to be honest. There you go. Should I be nervous at 3.75 months in after hair transplant and haven't experienced a ton of growth yet? Mostly just the hairline is better. No, man, like 3.75 months, it's really nothing. Like from 3 months onwards, you can start to like see some improvement, but it's like very, very gradual. I remember for me, if you watched one of the videos that I did for my growth timeline, it was not really that great. Like I was looking pretty bad at 4 months, but between 4 and 5 months, that's when the biggest improvement of growth of the new hair sprouting was. So yeah, I would say the worst is behind you, and yeah, good for you. You should be able to see some growth in the next upcoming weeks. Good for you. Hey Mordy, how you doing? I'm not Joe Tillman. Roll Tillman. Fuck now. Yeah. When are you cutting your hair? Oh man, my hair is super long. It's just a bit too crazy, to be honest. The barbers, I'm in UK, so the barbers are closed and there is nowhere to cut. So yeah, as soon as they're gonna open it, I'm probably just gonna go ahead and just cut it super short, maybe like twice, if not more, because like this length is really annoying, to be honest. Especially if there is a little bit of wind outside, it just destroys everything. And it didn't matter to start taking finasteride at Norwood 3 and 3.5. I mean, it's up to you. I mean, if you want to progress further with hair loss, then you don't take finasteride. But if you don't want to progress any further, if you want to keep what you have right now, then definitely, jump on it. If it's male pattern baldness, of course. Good morning. I go out of bed Sunday. What's up, Nico? How are you doing? Australia. This time it's really difficult to schedule because I've got viewers like pretty much from all around the world, like from US, UK, Australia, India, so it's difficult to kind of catch everyone at the same time. Thanks, Morty. Hello, Tony. How are you doing, Tony? Did I have any side effects? No, I did not have any side effects, although I was really cautious about them. So I started microdosing. I started by quartering 1 milligram pill, and I was taking it twice a week. So not the best way to start about it, but if you're really paranoid about side effects, I think it's a great way to go about it, because you're gonna slowly build the confidence. You're gonna take this 1/4 of a pill, and after a couple of hours, you're gonna be looking in the mirror, you're gonna be looking at yourself, and nothing changes. So you feel the same, everything is fine. So after second pill, second dose, should I say, you're gonna feel even more confident. And eventually I just hopped to 1 milligram, you know, slowly build up the tolerance. And yeah, I've been like, what, 18 months already, and it's great. Didn't have any side effects. So if you're cautious, I think that's a great way to go about it. Yes. Hey man, how are you doing? Congrats on your channel and videos. Informative and funny. Amazing job. Thank you so much, Eduardo. I think I remember you being a subscriber for a long time. So yeah, I appreciate that, buddy. By the way, let me know, guys, in the chat, is like how my sound is not like too loud, because I'm just testing with this microphone. It's like a bizarre setup here, you know. I can I can even share my screen if I need for something. So, you know, interesting stuff. So if you want me to have a look at some pictures, websites, clinics, videos, whatever it is, just, you know, let me know and we can have a look. Why not? Let's be productive. What's your dose? I think I already said that. Do you recommend everyone to get on transplant? Because definitely yes, Steve. If I think it's best to try medication at least for a year before the surgery. Like, of course, it can be 6 months. Normally, it takes 6 months to kind of stabilize the hair loss, and most better surgeons will always advise you to start medication first before jumping on a hair transplant, because we don't really know like your pattern. We don't know how medication gonna work. So, you know, the surgeon will need to know how aggressive or how safe, if it makes sense, to be, you know, in the surgery. And overall, to avoid the shock loss, because if you have a, like if you are diffuse thinner, like for example, like my case, mid-scalp and crown right now, when I'm gonna go for my second surgery, I will need to implant hairs like in the grafts in between native hairs, which are quite thin. So if I would not be on a finasteride, there would be a high chance of shock loss. Just, you know, this hair is just gonna die altogether, even though the technique is really good during the surgery. So yeah, finasteride will basically like prevent as much as possible, if it makes sense. So yeah, it's always a good idea. Yeah. Oh, Killian, how are you doing, buddy? Nice to see you. Guys, Killian the chemist is in the chat. Guy, ask him questions about generic finasteride. He's the man. It seems with fine hair it's difficult to wear it long. Once it gets past certain length, with gravity just takes over. Absolutely, just look at my hair. I mean, I really don't see myself, I have a lag, but it really falls flat if I don't use any product. Like right now, I don't have any product. I just blow dry it in a specific way, basically side part, and that's it. So nothing much done, but it really falls down. And if there is a little bit of wind, actually, you know what? Hold on. Let me show you a quick video I did today. It was really funny. And some people saying, no, you don't really need a second hair transplant. You can get away with it. Like, look at this. Okay, scene number 2. Have a look at this video. Today I was going around, and if it's wind blows away all my comb over, and it looks like pretty bad. So yeah, like I said, I've got a little bit of hair in my crown, but not much in the mid scalp. So yeah, hopefully I'm gonna fix this with my second surgery. What is the live stream? Yeah, hope you had a good laugh about it. Sounds great, slightly loud, but very manageable. Oh, loud. Oh, hold on, let me put it down a little bit. Okay, now it should be better. If it's too low, let me know. The best to avoid side effects is to pretty much say no side effects. Yeah, just program yourself that, you know, keep telling yourself there is no side effects. No, I'm joking. If there is a side effects, be careful, you know, like it's not a joke. What do we have more, D? How did you decide where to put your hairline? I keep well, for me, I had a forelock. Again, let's have a look at the pictures. I think that's a very good opportunity to kind of show everything nicely. Okay, scene number 2, and where are my pictures? And there you go. Up. So I had a forelock, really nasty forelock. So that's the only place where I still had a little bit of hair, not from native hairline. It was just a tiny bit higher, but nearly native hairline level. So obviously I couldn't go any higher, at this particular, point, because if I would, it just would ridiculous, just, a couple of hairs growing in from the middle, like a, they call it also unicorn pattern, by the way. So yeah, that's basically was my starting point. And obviously I didn't go super straight because it's not suitable for me, and I never had straight hairline, so it was a little bit rounded. It's more rounded than it was before my hair loss, but I think, to be honest, my hairline is pretty good. I really like it. So, so yeah, hopefully Morty that answered your question. And living in the mid-scope for second procedure, yes. Getting transplant. Oh, Morty. Morty, when is gonna be your transplant? I think everyone is curious from the Bold Tube show already. It's so funny. Click more and more likely. Okay. Hey Morty, where are you gonna go? Just curious. Have you got any side effects with finasteride? Ahmed, no, I already answered. I didn't have any side effects, at least that I noticed, to be honest. How many people actually? 26 people. Wow, that's great. To be honest, I was expecting maybe one. So that's cool. Appreciate your time, guys. And yeah, if you got any questions, let me know. Let's discuss whatever it's on your mind right now. What's your take on the derma rolling and minoxidil combination? Amazing combination, to be honest. I was doing myself microneedling with minoxidil for 1 year before my hair transplant, so I know what I can personally achieve. It gave me a pretty good boost, to be honest, especially in the mid scalp. Like right now, there is quite a few hairs, but this hair, they're like very miniaturized, like very thin, and they're not growing long. So, but with minoxidil microneedling, I could grow them at the same length like my transplanted hair easily. It was still not enough to avoid second hair transplant, hence why I decided not to go back on minoxidil microneedling after my first hair transplant. And as soon as I'm gonna get done with all my transplants, then I'll probably just gonna go back as well. So it's gonna be finasteride, minoxidil, microneedling, and hopefully as soon as Breezula gonna be approved, I'll jump on that as well, just to kind of stack up, because I can go to Norwood 6 or even 7, and obviously that's not what I want, so hence why I'm trying to be proactive. What do I have? Did you use dermal roller? People say it helps a lot. Yes, I just answered the question. What are your thoughts on the efficacy and safety of topical anti-androgens like RU? Well, I think everyone knows at this moment what my stance is on like anti-androgens. I love them. I think that's one of the future ways to, best ways to stop hair loss. But right now, we don't have any, to be honest. Like we've got RU, and we've got right now the Breezula is undergoing clinical trials. So, but on RU, it's been forever. It's been like since 1990s or something like that. And there was I think 1 or even 2 studies that were done on mice, I think, if I recall correctly. And that's it. There is no human trials. We don't have any data on long-term efficacy, on especially long-term side effect profile, because you really don't know what's gonna happen if you're gonna start using it long-term after 2, 3, 5 years. To what's it's worth, you may be gonna get some bizarre form of cancer, like Spencer Coburn is saying, but he's talking about finasteride. But anyways, you really don't know. I don't know. For me personally, I would prefer to use something that's been proven to work and it's FDA approved. We know that it's safe, we know that it works, and they've been even studies on finasteride long term, as of 10-year finasteride study. So it proves basically that it's efficacious long term, and people don't really experience any long term side effects. So yeah, I mean, that's what I think about RU. I'm waiting for Breezula, because if it's gonna be FDA approved, so it means they're gonna on the trials, they're gonna check what's the proper dosage, frequency, what you can actually expect, and also a side effect profile. So yeah, also worth maybe mentioning, I think if you guys watching Kevin Mann YouTube channel, he's talking a lot about fluoridil and alpha-tridal. So those two, they're available only in Europe, in certain countries. So it's not widely available, but they are considered as a topical anti-androgens. Alpha-tridal is more from an estrogen kind of point, but it still can work topically, and they are much safer because it's been already approved in this country. So yeah, I think if I would try topical anti-androgen, I'll try probably alpha tridal first, or even fluoridal maybe. So yeah, that would be, but I'm basically waiting for Brizula. The pattern looks painful. Thank you so much. Yeah, the pattern is pretty shit, to be honest. Norwood 5 is not fun. I'm really jealous of guys that are like Norwood 3. It's just so easy. Just get a good hair transplant, go to a good doctor, get it done once and forget about your hair loss altogether. If my whole family would be Norwood 3, I would not even bother with medications, with like a microneedling. Just get transplant and, you know, call it a day and that's it. But in my case, you know, have to be proactive. With regards to the temporal work you're planning, any idea on the graft count? Would go for a supple or more aggressive design? I'm not planning to lower the hairline. I'm not planning to reinforce like to bring forward my temporal peaks. I just gonna reinforce a little bit because they are not as defined, not as strong like right now. If you're gonna have a look over here, even with the longer hair, they're like pretty thin. So basically just gonna put a little bit of, you know, grafts in there. I think Dr. Ferrer estimated something like around 200 grafts or something in each area, each site. It of course gonna depend, you know, before the surgery he gonna check and we will see how it's gonna be. Maybe I'll try to maybe lower a little bit like the recession over here, but probably I'll keep the hairline just the way it is, just to kind of reinforce it as well. So yeah, not gonna be going too aggressive. Don't have the donor for it long term. Is there a clear difference density? You cut your hair very short. Clear difference in density? I mean, I guess we're gonna see. That's one of the reasons I'm looking forward for the surgery, because I'm gonna be able to buzz my hair before surgery properly. Now I obviously don't want to do it, but I'm gonna take a lot of pictures, videos, and we're gonna be able to actually see how it looks with the buzz cut. I'm gonna ask Dr. Ferreira to cut it a bit shorter, or maybe even actually gonna do myself after the lockdown is finished, just to see. But I would say if you saw how I was looking at month 6, the hair was like around this length. So I think it should be something like this. Something really similar. A little bit obviously better. So yeah, long-time subscriber, man. Been following your channel basically since you started. Appreciate that. Really appreciate your time, man. Ooh, this chat is loaded. Freaking out. Mordy, leaning towards FE. If I recall correctly, your donor is not that dense, isn't it? And you are, I think, Norwood 5, if I recall correctly from Joe Tillman's videos. I would suggest to look into FET. I mean, I was planning for myself FET. And actually, funny, I just, a couple of days ago, I filmed a new video that I'm gonna upload, hopefully tomorrow, what I'm analyzing like my Norwood pattern, like Norwood 5, and basically just to kind of have a look what is the reality of the hair loss, what's actually possible, what's the best FUE or FET, even though I had FUE, but I was planning FET as well. So just to kind of give you guys a basic example, what is possible, you know, so it's gonna be an interesting video. I'm gonna discuss why I didn't go for FET, so yeah, more do you have a look at the video. Oh yeah, so there you go, Kuba, I just answered your question. Have you considered just shave it or SMP? Never. Never. I was never equipped to shave my head. So yeah, I mean, people have been saying after my transplant that I look good with shaved head. Personally, I don't think so. I'm not a big fan of it. And I mean, who knows? Like worst case scenario, let's say, if no medication is gonna stop my hair loss and I'm just gonna go full blown Norwood 7 with retrograde alopecia, thinned out donor, and my transplant obviously is gonna thin out. So what I'm gonna do is gonna put the SMP all over the place and shave it all off. That's my, you know, plan Z. Last, you know, in the very end of the last, yeah. But hopefully I will not need to go that far. But if that's gonna be the case, you know, hey, what I can do. Or maybe I'm gonna consider hair system. Who knows? I remember seeing some get transplant to get the hairline and to Norwood negative too. Interesting. Yeah, there is a lot of people that are going to bad clinics, just, you know, implant the grafts on these muscles, on the forehead muscles, and it looks so hilarious when they're talking or have some facial expressions. Their hairline is moving. It's so freaking weird. Like, that's, by the way, yeah, whatever. I'm Norwood 7, wish I were Norwood 5. Yeah, man, I feel you. I feel you. It's like our problems are the worst, right? Yeah, I hope I hope your donor is great, because if your donor is good, it's from Norwood 7, it's possible to transform dramatically, to be honest. If you've seen Hassan and Wong do one huge strip from ear to ear, 8,000 grafts, boom, all Norwood 7 covered, job's done. So, you know, it depends on the donor. Hopefully yours is good. What about lower face side beard grafts into scalp? Have you considered it for your second? It's possible to get beard. First of all, I don't have much beard, as you can tell. I've got a little bit of beard grafts. It's not much, but I'm not a big fan of beard grafts in the transplant, at least not at this stage in the beginning or second or first surgery. My donor is pretty good. I have a lot of grafts available. So again, that's going to be worst case scenario. If I don't have any more on the scalp, then definitely I'm just going to put beard, you know, I'm just going to go all in, like they say. But personally, I'm not a fan because it has a different texture. It feels differently, regardless what most people, they trying to say that, no, it's the same. No. It's not the same. When people are combing through, even with the fingers, with the hands, they can feel the actual beard graft because it's much coarser. It's like it grows in a weird angles. You cannot. So if you're gonna transplant in the hairline, it's just gonna look bizarre. So, you know, the only place, in my opinion, for a beard graft is to go in the mid scalp. Because crown requires specific hair angles as well as the hairline, but mid scalp can pretty much just, you know, point any direction, gonna be looking good as a filler. Hi Rolandos. My name is Rolandas. Thank you very much. Did you use almond oil on the recipient area, grafted area from day 3 onwards? Hell no. Almond oil, no. I love almonds, but I would not use almond oil on my scalp. I was using aloe vera gel, actually, the one that Dr. Ferreira gave it to me, but also as soon as I finished it, I just bought it off Amazon. And yeah, aloe vera is great. If you're gonna be shopping for it, have a look, check for the ingredients. Should be as less ingredients as possible. And yeah, basically it should be at least 99.99% purity. So it's not many of them, but it's possible to find really good ones. I bought it, by the way, from Amazon. If you want to have a look, I've got the link in the description down below. Just check it out. I hope I didn't miss anything. Have you considered just shave it? Okay, that's been done. How much did you pay for your procedure? Can you recommend a clinic in Turkey for a broke student? Well, if you're a broke student, first of all, I would suggest to find the ways to make more money or to save up money, and don't go to any clinic. That's my opinion, because you're gonna be living with your hair for life. If the doctor gonna screw it up, if they're gonna destroy your donor, or if they're gonna like implant in a really weird, bizarre angles, it's gonna look unnatural, and you're gonna be living with it until the rest of your life. So, you know, I always say it's better, you know, to do it later than, you know, earlier. Like, just go to the better surgeon or, you know, clinic. Like, there's quite a few in Turkey. There's Dr. Demirsoy. He's charging, I think, 125 euro per graft if he didn't change it yet. Pretty cheap compared to like other, you know, other surgeons in like in a high quality bracket. Let's say he's doing his extractions himself. He's doing incisions, and then the nurses are implanting. But yeah, he's a good option to have a look, but I'm not saying go to him because he's not perfect. He has the tendency to over-harvest the donor when he extracts more than 4,000 grafts or around 4,000 grafts, because he's doing the surgery over 1 day only. So obviously he has just to rush with the punch, and, you know, just not a fun. My surgery was 3,600 grafts, and it was spaced in 2 days. Imagine 1,800 grafts punched out and implanted in 1 day was like what? From 8 o'clock in the morning to 5 something evening. So pretty long day. You know, it takes skill, and, like, you know, have to be careful. I'm hoping the microneedling and minoxidil gets me back to baseline. Well, hopefully. I think you look good with basket. Well, thank you so much. A lot of people told me this, but again, I'm not a big fan. If there is a choice between no hair, basket, or hair, hello, you know, always gonna go this route. Crazy, guys, you're just blowing my chat. Cannot see anything. Beard texture of graft Rolandas. I'm putting beard into my scar. Yeah, I mean, if you put in a scar, in a FET scar, I think it's fine. Like in the donor, again, it depends on the amount. But the donor we normally keeping short, so it's like, and again, few beard grafts is not a big deal. Like if I think, who is it? Eugenics. I think they're saying that when using beard grafts, they should be mixed with scalp hair, and they should be mixed around like in the ratio of 70-30%, if I recall correct. I may be wrong, but I think 30% should be beard grafts and 70% should be scalp. And when you're mixing them together, it looks pretty good. It gives a really good illusion of density. But if you're gonna be using a lot of beard grafts all together, it's just gonna look bizarre. I've seen. Just have a look at some results from Dr. Umar in US. He's very well known of using like beard grafts or any other body hair grafts, and to be honest, his results, they don't look good to me, and his patients are super desperate. I don't know, it's just too much. Based on your videos and great result, I've decided to go with Dr. Bruno Ferreira. For my second hair transplant, really like the first consultation I had with him. Hope you can travel to Espinho. How do you pronounce it? Espinho? In June. Well, yeah, congrats on your scheduled second hair transplant. Dr. Ferreira is definitely a really good surgeon, in my opinion. You know, I don't know how I took this leap. There was no results posted online, but I somehow had a good feeling, and there you go. We have a really beautiful hairline, refined, a really nice donor management. So yeah, hopefully gonna be good for you as well. And yeah, I'm hoping to go to in June to see Dr. Ferreira, get my second one as well. Apologies for the name error. This was don't bother Ronan Harris. I'm always just making fun. I'm a funny guy. I don't really get upset. I may love your content. I have diffuse pattern alopecia. Do you think that with a good surgeon I can maintain all native hair post transplants? Well, first of all, there's no guarantees in any surgery. Even if you go to best of the best surgeons, there still can be complications, can be shock loss, variety of things. But I would say the good surgeon, if he's using like good magnification, let's say loops, he should be able to go safely in between. Even though it's bust, he's gonna be able to see where each individual graft or hair is sprouting. So if you go to a good place, they should know. But I would personally ask for examples. Like if you're diffuse thinner, consulting with some surgeon, just ask him for pictures or videos or whatever for with the cases that with the diffuse thinner cases as well, something like you. So you can basically assess how it looks. And yeah, but most importantly, I would suggest to get on finasteride definitely. It's gonna help pretty substantially to minimize the shock loss, because shock loss can happen not even just. Have you seen in the donor, shock loss can happen even though if the extractions are like spaced apart, the punch is really small, and still, shock loss can happen. So it all depends on like each individual, So yeah, just hope for the best, but don't think that there are guarantees in anything, just be careful. Thin doesn't work for me. Interesting. So like what was the dosage? How long you've been using it? Because according to studies, you can experience more and more improvement of finasteride up to 2 years of starting the treatment. And of course, we're talking about 1 milligram per day. So, and personally, I've been 18 months already, something like this. And I noticed more improvement, more like stabilization, let's say, or less hair fall after I think 13 months or something like this. So I've been on 1 milligram all of this time, was pretty good. So it decreased my hair fall dramatically, but I was still shedding like 15-20 hairs here and there. But after 13 months, I started noticing even less shedding, and my hair, especially my crown, got even thicker and can grow a bit longer. So I would suggest to stay at least for like 2 years to fully assess the efficacy. But if you for sure know that doesn't work, and again, you have to define what it doesn't work. Like it does not regrow anything, or you're still shedding a lot of hair after being on finasteride for 1 year. Like you have to define, because sometimes if you're playing around with your hair loss treatments, for example, you're jumping on minoxidil, you're starting microneedling, whenever you're adding something new to your hair loss routine, you can induce shedding, telogen effluvium. So you have to be careful and consistent in order to properly assess, your results and efficacy for personally. So yeah, I would say, it's worth staying for a bit longer. If it doesn't work, there's always an option of dutasteride or higher milligram dosage of finasteride. So, but again, just speak to a doctor about it, obviously. I'm not a doctor. I mean, Dr. Kuto, his review looks incredible. Yes, Dr. Kuto is really great, but his waiting list is not that great. I would rather shave my head than wait 4 years for surgery. What would be your best European surgeon if you did not have budget limits? It's an interesting one. I would say it depends. For me personally, I think Dr. Ferrer, obviously, Dr. Lorenzo, and probably Dr. Zarev as well. Because like you need to have a look at each doctor results, because every single doctor has, even they all can be good, but they have their different like a artistic view, if it makes sense. Like they're gonna create the hairlines in a little bit different way. Some gonna be making straighter, some gonna be more staggered. You know, like there's really like a lot of variation. Some gonna produce really nice crown work, like I've seen from Dr. Ball, one of my friends Simon. He's been to Dr. Ball. His crown looks so freaking incredible after just 6 months. It's like the proper like world pattern created. Just, you know, it's crazy. So just shop around, like go through all of the like better surgeons and you know, ask for their opinion and just look at their results closely and, you know, decide for yourself which one you like more. Almond oil soaking for 10 minutes pre-mixed with shampoo. I don't know, man. I mean, I would personally not do it. If you want to experiment like Matt Dominance, how he's saying, if you want to freestyle, by all means, go for it. Yeah, just I would suggest, if you had the surgery, follow your post-operational instructions. Speak to your consultant or your surgeon or whoever it is, clinic, and you know, just so I suggest not to experiment too much. Did you check your blood indicators before taking finasteride? No, I don't believe you need to take, you know, blood, you know, to check for various things. These things mainly comes from more plates, more dates, Derek, and he's a big, you know, fanatic of blood work, and understandable. He's like he's a pro, how to say? He is basically like a endocrinologist without education, like, you know, self-made endocrinologist. Like, I would understand the reasons to kind of make your baseline, but finasteride, to be honest, it's such a safe drug. It's been taken for like, I've seen, there was a statistic, there was what, 18 million people only in the US in 2018 or 19 or something like this that were prescribed finasteride. 18 million only in US. So like, if it would be that bad, like people would be screaming very loudly about it. But instead, right now we see only fear mongering, like from basically what, a couple of people, really, like not that much. So I mean, it's been proven safe. So personally, I don't think you need. But if you got plenty of money and you don't mind, like why not? I mean, it won't hurt you. The only, you know, place that it's gonna hurt, it's your, you know, it's your wallet. But other than that, you know, personally, I don't think so. Yeah. Accept my Instagram follow request, please. Jake, what for? My Instagram is my personal Instagram, actually. I didn't create, even though it's the same name, Mr. Rolandas, but I created like ages ago. So, I mean, I'm not posting anything in there, so I don't see any point. But you're always welcome to hit me with a message, you know. I'm trying to, you know, discuss, to answer basically to everyone. I'm 23 years old, now with 23, looking to get a hairline restoration. I'm too young, couldn't trim the hair, recede further, making it look bad. Absolutely, yes. Tom86, yes, you can recede further if you're not on the medication, basically. Because at 23, Norwood pattern will not be 100% defined. Like you can maybe see a little bit of the outline, but there's a lot of people that are Norwood 3 at 23. But as soon as they're gonna reach 30, they're gonna be Norwood 7, you know? So imagine if you would have this bad gene and you just create a super, you know, low straight hairline, like, you know, just to bring you back to teenage years. Like, you're gonna have this, you know, island of hair with nothing behind it. And finasteride, it's not stopping your hair loss 100%, to be honest. It's dramatically slowing it down, but you still over the years will recede. So some people will recede less, some people will recede more, some people even can maintain for like a decade, everything, the whole baseline. So it's up to individual basically, but 23 in my opinion is a little bit too early. I would start with medication, stay for a couple of years. Of course, there are some outliers. If let's say your family history, it's a Norwood 3 at best. All males in your family, mother side, father side, there's Norwood 3, nobody else is any higher, then it would be safe to assume you should be in a similar way. But then again, it should be case by case, study. I would suggest you can contact some, better surgeons, not the cheaper ones that can, just need your money. Contact better surgeons. Online consultations are free of charge most of the time, and ask their opinion. Share your family history and see what they're gonna say. That's at least what I did. I contacted 50 clinics, better ones. What would be your best if you're a European surgeon? I think I already discussed that. Okay, do you know a good doctor in Brazil? I don't. I never looked at this part of the world, so apologies. It's impossible to know everyone. I've been looking mainly into Europe, into Turkey, because Turkey was the place I was mostly considering due to my budget. But yeah, I never heard of anyone in there. What is the best place to contact? You can send me an email. I think it's the easiest way. It's mr.rolandas.ht@gmail.com. It should be on my YouTube in About section. Just have a look. Maybe even in the description down below. I just sent some picture. Oh, hey man, Osman. Yeah, I've seen your picture. Just send me. You've been to FU Capillar. Okay. I'm not gonna be putting your pictures here, but I'll have a look and I'll answer whatever it is you ask me. And by the way, I'm sorry guys if I missed some of you. I'm just getting bombarded with messages. So, I'm trying to obviously reply to everyone, but I'm pretty much a charity. Doing it free of charge, and I have other things in life, so Let's see. Okay, we've got some pictures. Crown. Okay, looks like a Norwood 5. Norwood 5V, I would say. You had the hairline done, you had a little bit of crown work done. Well, it looks alright. It looks like a standard FU Capillar Dr. Turan work. Like nothing out of ordinary. If you're gonna look at any other results, the implantation pattern extraction looks exactly the same. So yeah, had it done, 3,800 grafts. Yeah, I mean, looks alright, looks good. If you're happy with like this, with the design and everything, with your donor management, then good for you. I would say Dr. Turan is pretty good. Not my cup of tea. I'm not a big fan of his hairlines, and that he's going a little bit too aggressive with grafts quite often, going like 5,000 grafts in one surgery, which not very smart, but hey, it's a good option for who is on a strict budget. Do you still recommend microneedling for those of us that are not applying minoxidil? Yes, it would not hurt. Microneedling is working in that it's not just kind of gives a boost to minoxidil by for absorption, but it also stimulates collagen production, growth factors, via wound healing mechanisms. So it's definitely can work on its own, but again, don't expect miracles, So it works best with minoxidil. It's like how I think Derek said once, like minoxidil and microneedling, it's like a 1 + 1 = 3. It's a really good combination. Should I email you or Instagram message? Whatever works for you, mate. I think it's easier email. You just put everything together, put pictures, but yeah, whatever. 18 years old and currently on finasteride, 1.5 months, no side at all. Do not fall for the fear mongering. Good man, Peter Griffin. Good for you. I wish I could start finasteride when I was 18. Like I started it when I was 27? Pretty bad, when I was already Norwood 5. So if I would start when I was Norwood 2, I'm pretty sure I would not need this transplant at all. Maybe like a little tiny hairline and that's it. So yeah, good for you. Good for catching up early. What are your thoughts on Stimoxidin? Is it getting a lot of hype in the hair loss community? Stimoxidin is what? Is a growth stimulant like minoxidil. So personally, I would always choose minoxidil. It, according to studies, research, it's been proven like to be more than twice like better, creating like a, in terms of hair count, you know, after 6 months, much better than stemoxin. I mean, minoxidil is much better than stemoxin. So I would go for it. It's like super safe. It's like, you know, you can get it pretty much in any shop anywhere around the world. It's like, you know, over the counter. So that's basically just proves the point that it's super safe. But if you're one of those unlucky ones that has super bad, you know, heart palpitations or something like this, then you can try stemoxin. Like, why not? It would not hurt, but, you know, don't expect miracles again from it. What are your thoughts on oral minoxidil? John, so oral minoxidil, interesting topic. I did actually already a couple of videos I've been talking about it. And I'm personally planning to get on oral minoxidil. I got already, no, I'm not gonna say it. I'm planning to get on it after my second hair transplant. Probably gonna be microdosing with, I'm gonna start either 0.625 milligram twice a day or 1.25 milligram once a day. The half-life of oral minoxidil is only 6 hours, roughly plus minus, as opposed to topical, which is 22 hours. So some doctors are recommending twice a day, but you know, but it's definitely much stronger than topical minoxidil. So if you don't see a lot of success with topical, definitely I think it's worth trying microdosing oral. It's been shown to be super effective and pretty safe, to be honest, in such a small doses. Like the normal dose for blood pressure is 10 milligrams. So if you're gonna take almost 1/10 of the dose, it's like there is really no side effect. The only side effect you can get probably it's increase maybe body hair. That's what majority of people are saying. And yeah, and because it's for some people will not respond well to topical minoxidil because they don't have this how's it called now? Minoxidil sulfite, like these enzymes in the scalp that is converting minoxidil to minoxidil sulfite. So if you don't have enough of this on your scalp, minoxidil topical will not work well, but oral will work really well because it's going through the liver, and the liver, it just, you know, everything works through the So yeah, oral is going to be always better, but I would suggest to start from topical and see how you're getting on. I'm personally going to be on oral because I know what topical can do for me. And yeah, what else? What do we have? Do you know the best doctors in Italy? I have no idea. I've seen from, there was this one surgeon, there was a one woman surgeon from Italy. I don't know her work, but she was like in in the hair loss summit that Joe and Spencer were doing. So maybe she's good, who knows? But personally, I don't know anyone. How is your health? Do you have high blood pressure? Do you have heart disease in your family? I have it in mine. I think it's related to baldness. I am, as far as I know, I'm absolutely healthy. Like I've been always going to GPs, checking myself up, and my checkup was always like, you know, 3 minutes. Like fine, okay, go. I remember before my surgery, I insisted to get ECG done, insisted to get the blood checked for like just overall, you know, blood work. And everything came back absolutely normal, nothing. So yeah, I'm basically healthy human being, at least, and hopefully I'm gonna stay like that. Why not show it? Oh, Max. On medication, today's operation, manual punch. Manual punch, not, I mean, personally I don't think manual punch is superior to motorized punch. I had both. I had 90% roughly motorized and roughly 10% manual punch, and I cannot tell a difference where was which done. So, you know, if it's done properly, it should not be any different. How many grafts does it take on average to go from Norwood 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1? Okay, so that's gonna be, I'm planning to create a series of videos. Sergey, by the way. Привет, Sergey, как дела? I will create a series of videos about different Norwood patterns, but as a general rule of thumb, for each Norwood level, you need around 1,000 grafts. So if you are Norwood 2, you would need around 2,000 grafts. Norwood 3, 3,000, Norwood 4, 4,000, Norwood 5, 5,000, but it can be a little bit more. The higher the Norwood level, the more like the variation between the grafts. For me personally, I'm Norwood 5A, so I would need, with my particular fine hair, I would need around 6,000, 7 maybe thousand to achieve really good coverage overall and really good dense looking result. If my hair would be much thicker, I would need much less graft. So it obviously depends on the individual, but as a general rule of thumb, like each Norwood level is 1,000 grafts. Asli Tarkan in Turkey. Personally, I haven't seen, I didn't look much into it, but from what I heard, and I might be wrong, but from what I heard, they're doing a lot of surgeries per day, meaning they're employing a lot of technician, different technician teams, and that is never a good sign, So if you look at the results, you're gonna see one result that is looking amazing, but it doesn't mean if you're gonna go there, you're gonna receive the same result, because maybe they have like let's say 20 teams, and 18 of them are really good, spot on, super amazing, but 2 of them gonna be brand new, just hired, and they're gonna be practicing on your head. What are the chances, So for me personally, it's a gamble. I don't know, I might be wrong, maybe he is doing a great job, and I'm just maybe talking some nonsense, as always. Yeah, but that's basically my opinion. Asli Tarkan is a butcher. I didn't say it, it was Max. I saw Rolandas post on Reddit and found his content very interesting. Well, Peter, appreciate that. What are your plans in terms of medication after second hair transplant? Finasteride, oral minoxidil for life? Yeah, probably. I mean, for life, or so I'm gonna be probably taking it until I'm gonna die, hopefully not soon, or until I give up on my hair, like if I don't care at all, or maybe I'm gonna get side effects or whatever it is, but I'm basically planning to stay as long as possible. To me, it's the same like a brushing your teeth. Like, if you want to keep your teeth nice and healthy and clean and hopefully somehow white, you have to brush every day your teeth, So if you're gonna stop brushing, you're probably gonna fall down, fall out. So I look at medication in the same way. If you stop medication, your hair gonna fall out. So just, that's my way, of looking at it. You have advice on how to minimize damage for going on a medication as well conceiving a child with a girlfriend? Well, certainly I'm not a doctor, first of all, and first and foremost, but I suggest to speak to your doctor. Personally, I would probably stop finasteride for a month before trying to conceive, just to kind of stay basically on the safe side, just to have this, peace of mind, if it makes sense. Like, there is no real studies done saying that there are any like bad effects. There's plenty. I'm sure there's millions of people that got their kids while being on finasteride, and everything is fine. But some doctors say that there is maybe a little bit of a risk that for your baby to not develop properly. So for your peace of mind, just get off medication for 1 month, get it done, and go back on it. I don't think it's gonna be such a bad thing if you stop the medication for 2 months or something. Of course, you might lose a little bit of ground, but like if you look at the big picture, you've been keeping your hair with finasteride for a long time, so you're probably gonna go back to it after you resume it. So I don't see it as a problem. Kiara, you mean? Yeah, that's the one. Like I said, I never seen her results. I just seen on Joe's channel. Glad to hear I'm on oral minoxidil since November. Helps with BP, not so much with hair so far. You've been since when? Since November. It's been what, 3 months? Well, 3 months, it's like 3-4 months is just the beginning, really, but you should start seeing improvement. I always find it funny when people are expecting bigger results from any medication or even hair transplant, like immediately, months, 2-3 months after. Like, man, no. If you understand hair cycles, you're gonna never have such a questions, because hair, like if you're starting any treatment, you have a high chance of induced premature telogen effluvium, which basically shedding. And after telogen effluvium, your hair follicle is going to be in a resting phase for around 100 days. After 100 days, they will start to grow. And imagine, they will only start to grow after 3 months, and you're not going to see much really difference. So I would say the biggest visual impact improvement would be from like a month 5, 6, 7, I would say. Again, such a like a general rule of thumb, but hair cycles is pretty important to understand, and if you understand it, there is no question about why my hair transplant is not as good at 3 months, you know, because I shed everything and it doesn't grow. Is Dr. Ferradini better than Lorenzo? I don't know. For you to decide. I think Ferradini is great. I think Lorenzo is amazing as well. I like them both. You know, depends on you. And there's a black guy on the hair restoration network who went there and his donor is over harvested. Max, you get... Okay, yeah, probably talking about the other surgeon. Asli Tarkan, okay. Well, Max, it just proves my point, like, so gonna be some good results, gonna be some bad results, and you might get sadly over harvested. And in my understanding, if you get over harvested, there's really little things you can do. So I would personally, you know, just not gamble. I wanted to go to a cheaper clinics because that was my maximum budget, but then I decided to stop, save more money, find another ways to make more money, and yeah, and just, you know, go to somehow better ones. So Dr. Ferrer was at the absolute top budget of my budget, but I couldn't afford anything else. But I found him like pretty good. It's like for his quality, in my opinion, he's like a gem. Like his quality, like for his quality, the price should be much higher. And he told me he's planning to increase the prices at some point, but I don't know. Hopefully not until my surgery. Dr. Free does not remove the graft during the operation. He only makes incision. Well, there is no problem for technician to extract or implant. There is no issues with technicians doing the surgery altogether. My issue would be who is doing it. If there is the same technician doing extractions all of this time, then it's fine. Like, I would not mind if they have one patient a day, every day, or one patient in 2 days like I had, and there is the same technician extracting the grafts. It means you can have a look at 5-10 results, and you can assume, if there is 10 people that had a really good donor extraction management, donor management was good, then most likely I'll have the same, because it's going to be exact same person doing it. So, you know, that's my stance. It's not like I'm saying, only surgeons should do everything. No, like there should be a consistency, because when if there is no consistency, you cannot measure or assess results. So yeah, what made you choose Ferreira over Pinto? Didn't Pinto have a lot more proven results? Okay, Max, so I did a video why exactly I chose Dr. Ferreira. Go to my channel, have a look. It's a pretty long video, 15 minutes roughly, but I discussed in great detail, you know, so yeah, there's a lot to it. If you could have afforded more expensive clinic, you would have gone to another clinic more expensive? Probably yes, because I was like researching extensively. And one of the reasons of why I was researching so extensively, like pretty much 24/7 for like a whole year, it was just spent all my time, because I had a certain amount of, like, you know, money. And obviously I want to find some, like, as best as I can afford, you know, as best surgeon as I can afford. If money would not be the issue, would be very easy. I'm just gonna go to Dr. Lorenzo or whoever, and like Hassan and Wonk in fucking Canada, and that's it, you know, like, and don't need a headache to try to find someone. But if your budget is limited, that's when the headache starts to happen, you know. You have to search for it. So yeah. By the way, I appreciate guys joining this live stream. Like I said, I didn't really expect anyone to be here. I was expecting maybe one person, and 28 so far. Blows my mind. Appreciate your support. Hopefully you enjoying my content so far and find it helpful. I'm doing my best to answer all of the questions via, like, privately or on the forums or Reddit, whatever it is, on my YouTube channel. I'm responding to every single comment. So yeah, just doing my best basically, because there's so much shit out there. It's pretty bad. If you're gonna look at some of the bigger YouTubers, sellouts, you know. So what can I say? I mean, of course, who knows? Maybe at some point I'll sell out as well. Gonna start selling laser caps, or suggesting, you know, that Sapphire FUE hybrid, Sapphire hybrid FUE. No, wait, Sapphire DHI hybrid FE, whatever it's called, is the best technique. Freaking unbelievable. Pinto. So Max, I haven't looked enough at Pinto before, when I was like doing my, I mean, I've seen his work, but if I recall correctly, he's even more expensive. I think he's charging 2.7 euro per graft. I think that's what kind of put me off, and you know, my budget was 2.5 euro per graft, like top, nothing else. So I think that was the reason. What about clinics that have 2 or even 3 technicians doing the extractions and implantations on each side of the head? Well, think logically. I've seen so many results, like you would not believe me how many results I've seen that coming from this kind of clinics. I mean, incisions normally are done by the surgeon, but the grafts are normally sorted. You know, if it's pre-made incisions, there's 2 or 3 technicians that are implanting the grafts with a forceps. And you know what they're doing? They've got certain amount of grafts next to them, and they just, you know, taking whatever and implanting. Like, so there's so many results online out there that, like, in one side technician did a really great job. He put mainly singles, but on another side there is like a triples, even quadruples graft. Like, that does not look really nice. That does not look really natural, in my opinion. I guess I might be wrong. Who knows? It's just an opinion. But personally, you know, again, if it's the same technician team doing day in, day out for every single person, and if you don't see such issues, then again, should be okay. But I always say you better be cautious, you know, like be cautious with any clinic. Like, don't trust anyone. Don't trust anyone online. Don't trust me what I say. Do your own research. Learn everything about your hair transplant yourself. So you don't need to rely on anyone's opinion. That's basically the safest way to go about it. Of course, it's gonna take you a bunch of time, and I'm a living proof of that. Look at me, I'm starting my own YouTube channel. Fucking hell, it's crazy, but yeah. Could you do a series on the best of the best hair transplant surgeons? I was thinking to do it, but then there are certain aspects why it's not a good idea to do it. Some clinics contacting me, they saying they don't like what I'm talking about them online. It's funny, like one clinic legit, like about a month ago, a bit less, they called me on my phone only because a couple of years ago I contacted them, you know, for their opinion. And they said, oh, it came to our attention that, you know, you said this and this, which we don't think, you know, it's true. Like, you know, things like that. It's not really great. So I'm trying to stay away of talking much about clinics. I don't really, like, I'm not here, you know, to get into troubles, you know. My opinion, learn as much as you can about hair transplants. So again, you don't need to rely, and you're gonna spot it. Trust me, whenever you know what to look for, it's like this. You're gonna see straight away the hairlines, how it's built, the crown, how the extractions are great or not. Like, it's very easy to spot, you know, but you just have to put some time on it, you know, and learn. Do you have any hair loss YouTubers you enjoy and recommend? 100%. I'm watching Derek from More Plates, More Dates, obviously. I'm watching Kevin Mann. I'm watching Matt Dominance. I think Matt is a pretty cool guy. He's sometimes going overboard, claiming that he's an expert. Bullshit, like expert, and his first hair transplant, you know, it was a disaster. But I mean, but overall, he's giving a really good advice, honest opinion. He's not trying to sell you some bullshit like Hairliciously. You know, like there are a couple of, you know, YouTube channels that are pretty good. Hair Loss Show, the same, 2 doctors. What else? I think that's it, really. I'm not really watching like many, but don't have like only one source of information. If you like watching different YouTube channels, don't like just, you know, focus on one. For example, Derek from More Plates, More Dates. If you're gonna be focusing only on him, you will definitely gonna do a blood work. You're gonna be probably on RU8A for one. You're gonna just be going crazy, overthinking, you know, going through these different pathways. Okay, if I'm gonna reduce DHT by this amount, then, you know, they're gonna have more testosterone, which is gonna aromatize to estrogen, and then I'm gonna have side effects. Maybe I'm gonna have, you know, gyno and one, like, this is too much. Okay, like, he is giving a good information and he is overcautious. It's good to know this, but it doesn't mean it's like gonna happen to everyone, you know. So the same goes to every, you know, person. Kevin Mann is a great, like I love his videos. His personality is interesting, but he's spitting the truth about finasteride mainly. So, you know, like there's plenty of, and also Derek, he does not know much about hair transplants. So if he would say something about the hair transplants, I would definitely not take it seriously, you know. So yeah, just, you know, diversify your sources of information. That's my takeaway from it. Many of the most famous hair transplant surgeons are now like 65, 70 years old. Do you think it's possible? Show surgeon, probably in their 40s. Steve Dibben, yes. It came across my mind so many times that if the surgeon is like older age, like he cannot be physically as good as like a younger guy. Like, I mean, I'm not just trying to say something bad, but it's just a pure logic, you know. I mean, they can still be good, and most of the time, to be honest, the better surgeons, especially in the US, they're not doing extractions, they're just doing incisions, and that's it. Like Hassan and Wong, they're just gonna do incisions and go home, and technician's gonna finish because he trusts his technicians, and they're really good. So, you know, but again, just look at the results. Like the age doesn't matter. There's plenty of like in you know, older age, but they're still really good. So just look at the results, look at the consistency, and that's it. I would say that would be, you know, the main point to look at. Hair Regrowth by Alex is great channel as well. I've seen Alex, how is it called? I don't remember now, but he's like, I don't know, it's just like very basic, just mainly about finasteride. It's like he's recycling the same information about finasteride and hair loss every single video. All like, I found it really boring. It's just all over the same story, but with the different words, you know. But yeah, I mean, if you find it interesting, then yeah, why not? Mordy, yeah, no worries. Glad you enjoying it. Hopefully you find at least something useful or entertaining. What else? Mao, just do $500 blood test from my HRT clinic, bro. I don't think he's a bad guy. I think Derek is a cool guy. He definitely means well, and I don't think he's necessarily trying to sell you something. And to be honest, if I would be living in Canada, I probably would buy like a topical finasteride or things like that from his clinic. I would assume, with his knowledge, I would assume he would be interested in providing really good quality and everything. But again, it's like with everything, you have to be cautious, you know, with everyone. Richard is also nice to follow, very honest and no BS. The Richard hair transplant story, something like that. Yeah, I've been following this guy, but he stopped with videos because, you know, he reached his 1 year mark, and that's it. There's nothing to talk. Does anyone know if Winlevi closcaltran is commercially available yet? No, it's available, Winlevi, for acne, but it's a very small dose, and I don't know if it's possible to actually compound to a higher dose. Technically it's approved already, but it's gonna be a freaking expensive, to be honest. So I would personally, like, we don't really know the dose, the best dose, the most efficacious, the efficacious thing is their word, the dose that produces the best efficacy. I would say let's wait for official hair loss trials, and you know, when they're gonna finish their second, I think, trial right now, and you know, once it's gonna be approved by FDA, it's gonna be, I think, the best time to start doing, because even right now, if the most places they're selling CB0301, but it's coming from, like, mainly from China. It's like the quality can be really questionable. So I'm really cautious about it. Derek almost sold me on. Are you glad I didn't go ahead with him? I mean, like, again, it might work. We don't know. But personally, like, there is not much studies, you know. Personally, I'm not I don't want to be a guinea pig. If you feel like doing it, by all means, go for it. You know, people are worried about finasteride so much, they're scared even to try finasteride, and they jumping on you. I've never understood this. Like, that's crazy to me. You don't want to try even something that is proven to work and be super safe, and very small minority of people gonna experience side effects. No, they're just gonna go for something completely with, you know, just anecdotal evidence. Crazy. Thoughts on Hair of Istanbul? I think everyone knows my thoughts on Hair of Istanbul at this stage. In short, I'm not a big fan of their approach. They are saying you don't need finasteride. They saying if you're gonna lose more hair, or just come back for a second hair transplant. They are using crazy amount of grafts in the surgery. They're doing really low straight hairlines, and the hairlines itself are way too straight, not to my liking. Like some people claiming they like it, that's what they want. I mean, by all means, good for them. I'm more of a natural look. So yeah, and I never seen big cases done by them. Like if someone is Norwood 6, how they gonna manage? I think they just, canceling them out. Yeah, I know. My opinion. And again, it's a technician-based clinic, so it's a gamble, pretty much. Some people saying, oh, but their Instagram looks pretty good. I don't know what they find good on Instagram, but even if these results are good to you, how many results do we see? They posting like what, 1-2 results a week? Looks a lot, right? 5 results. Let's take 5 results a week. Okay, sounds cool. But how many surgeries they doing per day? They're doing around, I think, if I recall correctly, I might be wrong again, but it's something like around 5, 6, maybe 8, maybe even more surgeries a day. So imagine, just multiply 8, let's say 10, just for easier counting. 10 surgeries a day, multiply by 5 days a week, you got 50 patients a day, a week. So they're posting only 2 results out of 50. So what is the success rate? Like, you understand what I'm talking about? Like, you need to think this kind of, statistically. I'm currently around 2 months post-operation, still shedding a few hairs. How did your hair that shed look? Is it normal? Is normal that the hair shaft is broken in half? Hair shaft broken in half? How do you know if it's broken? Maybe it's just short. I mean, have a look. I did plenty of videos already actually on the channel. One of the latest one that I just basically did a whole timeline from month 0 before my surgery until 12 months, like one by one. So it's a great video to kind of assess and kind of remind yourself that you're probably on track. You're not, you're not experiencing super late growth or something. Most people start to grow hair like at month 5, 6. So just have a look. It's a really good video. Feel like Hassan Wonk is so overrated. Possible. What you changed your diet as a boost? I did not understand this question, sorry. Did you ever consider shaving bald? Ahmed already answered, never. Never ever in my life, and hopefully I will never have to. Your English is better than Hairy Grove by Alex. Alex needs to improve his English. Well, I appreciate that. English language is actually a 4th language for me personally, so it's funny. I didn't speak much English when I came to England about, what, 7 years ago already? And I actually learned to speak in a basic level English maybe 5 years ago. Let's say 5 years ago. So yeah, whatever, if you probably hear so many mistakes. Apologies, I'm not doing it on purpose. It's not like I'm uneducated. Technically, I am uneducated in this respect, but knowing 4 languages sometimes is difficult. Man, you've got almost as many viewers as the Bold Truth Show. Oh, I appreciate that. 30, that's not as much. Did you have consultation face-to-face with someone other surgeon? Yes, Kuba K. I had consultation face-to-face with Dr. Bisanka and Dr. Lupanzula. They inspected my donor area under magnification. They checked for my, basically everything. And yeah, Dr. Bisanka said my head is super small. Thank you for that. Basically, he meant that FET would not yield a lot. One strip would not, give a huge amount of graft. So basically, that was the difference. He said FET is pretty good for you as well, but maybe he was biased. Who knows? But yeah, I've seen both of them. They both said I'm a really good candidate. Donor, everything looks great. Head Brazula doesn't work. Well, we don't know yet. There is no really studies, only anecdotal. I mean, there are a couple of signs, but they're still undergoing clinical trials. So let's wait and see. It does work, I think. It does not work as good as finasteride, obviously. But I believe, I don't believe it's going to be a good monotherapy, but as a stack up, if you're going to stack it with finasteride, that's going to be a pretty good, improvement overall and, treatment. How backed up is Dr. Ferreira's schedule? When I booked my transplants, it was beginning of January, it was 3rd or 4th of January. the first available date was 3rd and 4th of June, so around 6 months. But again, I'm gonna have 2 days surgery once again. So if you need if you have a smaller case, you need less grafts. If you just need 1 day, then maybe gonna be earlier. I don't know. But worth checking with them. He's pretty busy, to be honest. I plan to get prescription for Winlevi and use it off-label for hair loss. I will just have my insurance cover it, prevention of scalp acne or some BS like that. Well, Don Murphy, best of luck. Let me know. I would be really curious, especially if you manage to do it on on insurance. Then absolutely amazing. Because otherwise, I believe it's gonna be very expensive. But again, I think Winlevi is like what 1 milligram. Yeah, I think it's 1 milligram dose. For acne, and I think they saying closcatron is supposed to be like around 7.5, the best dose for hair loss. At least that's so far what we know. So you will need to compound quite heavy, so I don't know. Let me know how it goes. When I first came in this community, I thought laser was the holy grail. Now I know it's a risky 50-50, and most of the time it doesn't work. Man, did you change your diet as a boost for your hair loss? I didn't change my diet. I just tried always to kind of eat as healthy as possible. I drink quite a lot of alcohol sometimes. I eat quite a lot of bad food, fast food, like sweet, sugar, but I'm trying to keep it. I'm not doing it every day, all day, you know what I mean? I'm trying to stay healthy. So I would say in percentage-wise, like 80%, maybe 70% is like healthy food, good food, and the rest is not. So, don't have super bad diet. And about the laser hat, I personally think it would not hurt you trying it. Probably I will try as well after my second surgery, just to kind of again stack it up. I'm not expecting miracles, and I'll probably just gonna buy some cheap from AliExpress or something like that, like for 100 pounds or something. And yeah, just there is no side effects of laser. The only side effect is a slimmer wallet once again. So if you have a couple of hundred dollars in your pocket that you can spend, don't mind spending, then why not? I would definitely try it out. But never buy this Iris Store bullshit for like $2,000. It's just overpriced. I'm 17 years old. Do you recommend to do hair transplant because maybe I'm in 5 Norwood 5? Definitely 100% no. I'm sorry, man, to hear it, but if you are already Norwood 5 at 17, it's like I'm almost positive 100% that you're gonna be Norwood 7. Most likely, maybe even retrograde alopecia, maybe even a diffuse, like a DUPA, diffuse and partner alopecia in the donor. It's if having such a severe case at such a young age, it's pretty bad. So if you're gonna do a hair transplant, it's just you're gonna lose much more hair. And if you are a Norwood 7, there is not enough hair to cover the whole area unless your donor is really strong. But again, if you are 7, it's just way too early. If I would be you, I would try to just go to a dermatologist, try to assess properly. Yeah, I would say finasteride is too early. You still, I would not recommend until 20 or something. But yeah, you can try microneedling, you can try minoxidil. It's not gonna hurt, and but just wait. Man, it sucks. Hair loss sucks. I know. I'm Norwood 5 as well. Of course, I wasn't that young, but I started losing when I was 21. Not a good feeling when everyone has a full set of hair. They're doing these different hairstyles, they're going to a barber, cutting, having these different haircuts, and I have a comb over, not great. So I definitely feel you. I feel like the transplant was noticeable at all in person around 3 months, definitely. In my case, because I was pretty much bald in the front, I didn't have any hair in there, so my scalp was really red for up to 5 or 6 months, so it was staying for a long time. And because I was bald, like I said, there was like a very little growth, few weird hairs sticking up, so it was definitely noticeable. But some people can get away with it. It's up to each individual. And hold on, let me have a look at my. I feel like my phone might die. Let me just put it on that. Because I'm streaming with the phone and the quality is pretty good. If you see, I'll look at my hairline now. Fuck now. Give me 1 second, guys. Don't want to finish this live stream like that. I'm sorry, we've got technical difficulties. And I'm back. Okay, where we at? By the way, I wanted to show you guys. I've got a couple of these things. Headbands. Because my hair is so long, sometimes it's so annoying to manage. I just put one of those and stay at home like this, basically, or even go to the shop or something. So, but the hairline looks really interesting when you're sticking up. Hold on, let me see here. Of course, it's a little bit thin because I've got super harsh light over here, but like the design, you can really appreciate the design. I really like it. And I think after the second one, as soon as I'm gonna, you know, reinforce the hairline and temporal peaks, they should be looking even much better. Fucking hell, such a long hair. I really need a haircut. Yeah, whatever. Nobody cares. Okay. Max, did they count grafts, do the math? During the consultation, they didn't. They just check roughly in like three areas of the donor. And he counted, Dr. Bisang and Puzzle, they counted how many grafts is roughly, because he had like this manual magnification. And he counted roughly how many grafts I've got in a centimeter square. And he estimated I've got, they both estimated I've got between like 80 to 100 grafts per centimeter square. But they obviously didn't do a full-blown, you know, analyze of my donor. What would you do in the future if finasteride just slows down your hair loss and does not stop it? Well, that's why basically I'm gonna get on oral minoxidil. I'm gonna go back on microneedling, and as soon as the Brizuela is out as well, I'm gonna do it as well. So basically, I'm trying to stack up as many different treatments as possible to kind of give myself the best fighting chance to, you know, to keep as much as I have, you know. So yeah, that's my, again, it doesn't mean everyone needs to do it, but it's just my opinion. Any tips you can give on growing a YouTube channel in this area, loving the live stream and loving the content? Lewis, how are you doing, buddy? Tips, be transparent. I think like that's one of the key why like at least a lot of people told me that, you know, I'm giving really interesting content and I'm like, no bullshit. Because when I was doing my research, there was so much like shit out there, to be honest. Like everyone sounds biased. Everyone's just showing their hair transplant in the really good light condition or in the shitty quality, blurred, or like just, yeah, go to this clinic is amazing. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like it's really little transparency. Just, in my opinion, just be transparent. Just, you know, go do good thing, you know, just give back to the community that give, you know, that you learned from. Like that's my understanding. Yeah. Great to hear you speaking about those channels that go over the top, connecting too many dots and spreading disinformation about medication. The reality is nobody needs testing before taking finasteride. Yeah, Killian. I mean, again, it's not bad. It's not gonna hurt you, except financially. But like, I think it's a good idea to have a baseline, but it's not like a necessity. Like the finasteride is not such a strong drug that you have to absolutely do it, because like there is very little chance that you're gonna have even any side effect. And for what do you need the blood work? If you're gonna have long-term persisting side effects, which are not scientifically proven, by the way, but if they're gonna happen, then you have a baseline to see what went wrong. But this is almost impossible. Like again, I mean, I might be wrong. There is so many people that are talking about post-finasteride syndrome. Don't want to, you know, discredit this, but yeah. Did the transplant have the effect your expected self-esteem? Let me put it here. Definitely, self-esteem is over the roof. Definitely. I mean, I still feel a bit self-conscious about my mid-scalp, like, because essentially I'm still having a comb over, to be honest. Like, especially with this long hair, it's like if the wind is blowing, I don't know if some people saw it in the beginning of this live stream. I showed very interesting video. Let's show it again. I filmed it today, and it was really funny. Where is this? Let's have a look here. Have a look at this video. I didn't put any product, boom. But it was very windy, and with this long hair, it blows away all the comb over. my crown has a little bit of hair, but my mid scalp is pretty much bald. So you know, doesn't matter. Even if I put a lot of product, it's still the wind gonna blow it away. So it's not a good look, you know. I'm still thinking about it. So sometimes just put this headband and move on. So yeah, interesting stuff. Hopefully after second one, it's gonna be, you know, all done and it's gonna be peace of mind. Hopefully. The same for firmware for all minoxidil. Yes. Oh my gosh, so many comments, guys. I appreciate that. If you have a little money, it is best to go to the HLC in Turkey. 2.43 euro effective with discount. Best price perform. They have a discount. Wow, I didn't know that. Normally they're charging 2.7 euro per graft, so that's pretty expensive. I mean, it's not cheap. It's not super over the board, but it's pretty expensive. And I mean, if you can afford 2.43 euro, like, yeah, why not? I think I think HLC a really good good place to go. But yeah, again, just look at the results. Look, if you like them, just, you know, go for it. So I guess I have to live with it and all my college years. Dude, I'm so sad. Khaled, listen, mate. You can you know what you can try? You can try a hair system. Like, you're gonna have full set of hair instantly. Of course, it's not yours, but look what all that matters. Nowadays, hair systems are incredible. To be honest, if I would be all like Norwood 7, I would either shave my head and put SMP, or I would try hair system. Definitely. It's like, if you're really desperate for hair, man, it looks incredible. It looks super natural. Nobody would ever know. And they glued it on top of your head and it stays. You can swim. You don't need to change it. You can stay for like, I think 2 or 3 or even 4 weeks with it until you have to like replace it or re-glue it or whatever. It's like, nowadays they're really good. So definitely have a look at it. Where do you get your oral minoxidil in the States? No idea, sorry, mate. Do you need to take a fin after hair transplant? Yes and no. So for your hair transplant to grow, you don't need the finasteride. But if you want to prevent further hair loss, then you absolutely need finasteride if it's a male pattern baldness. So if it's, you know, if you just have a naturally high forehead or whatever, you had some like traction alopecia, for example, then you don't need. But if it's standard male pattern baldness, then you definitely don't want to be in a position when you have a thick hair in here, like an island, and then nothing behind it, or there is a gap, like right now I have. It's not really cool, you know. Yeah, I've got pretty good head of hair in the front, then I have a little bit in crown and nothing in the mid scalp. So I'm stuck to brush like this and like this, like. It's really, it's not cool, man. Like, just take the medication. Obviously, consult with your doctor. I'm not the doctor. Just recently added 1.5mm derma roller and minoxidil H19 or 2. My parents badly don't want me. They want me to take finasteride. I will be doing Regan for 1 year before. Yeah, good. Like I don't think at 19 it's the best age to start finasteride, but definitely macroneedling and minoxidil can give you a huge boost that you can maintain for at least a few years easily, like this. So, you know, definitely keep doing what you're doing. The thing in Norwood will progress from Norwood 5 to 6, 7, possibly. According to my family history, it's likely, but again, my brother and my father been on their Norwood respective levels, Norwood 6 and 7, at my age. So they've been already since 26, roughly, already at their like last stage. I'm Norwood 5, I'm 29. So of course it might be delusional, but to be honest, I'm preparing to, you know, to go down, like to lose more. Hence why I'm trying to, you know, throw a kitchen sink on it. So yeah, it's a possible. Hopefully it's not gonna happen. Holy cow, so many comments. Never know with donor hair. Sometimes they can still be susceptible to DHT. Peter, yes, that's why I think finasteride is also a must. Like most of the time, it's like from what I've heard, most people have certain degree of miniaturization in the donor, but it's not going to be dramatic. It's going to be like 1, 2, 3%, which is pretty much neglectable. But if you have like a 10, 15, even 20% of miniaturization in donor, that's when it's going to be a problem. It's called diffuse unpatterned alopecia, or dupa. So Polish people probably laughing from dupa, because in Polish dupa means ass. Oops. Yeah, so, and by the way, Dr. Bisanga, he checked my donor and he said I've got less than 5% miniaturization. So, I don't know, is it 0, is it 1, but I think it's great. I had a hair transplant 2 weeks ago to go from Norwood 3 to Norwood 5. I'm so much more confident with the buzz cut appearance. Hey, Max, congrats, man. By the way, I really appreciate you on the channel for a long time already, and congrats on your surgery. Good for you. I really I definitely can relate about the confidence. I remember when I had it done, it's like, because I was wearing this hilarious comb over for so many years that it was not great mentally, to be honest, and I obviously didn't want to shave it, but because of the surgery I had to shave it, and it was like a big weight fall from my heart, from my brain, whatever, like it was really cool, and it gave me confidence, even though like my scalp was red and everything was pretty obvious, but I really didn't mind. I was always focused on the end result. I was focused like, listen, I don't care how I'm gonna be looking for the next 3, 5, 10 months, as long as they're gonna be looking amazing after 1 year, so that was my mindset, and I suggest for you to keep similar. Go vegan. Woo! Go watch Kevin Mann, he's vegan. I will try Minxodel, new words, and some treatment, and I hope it will work. Yeah, man, just try your best. There are options. You can do SMP as well, by the way. You can just cover all your scalp, shave your head, and you're gonna look like you have full set of hair, but just buzz cut, There's a little bit of options. Are there any research telling about that baldness has a constant progression during specific ages? Would it accelerate slowly down? Well, I don't recall seeing studies, but I'm sure there are plenty of studies on that. But from what I've seen personally, the most aggressive hair loss is mainly in like 20s, 20, 25 until 30, maybe 35, and then it slows down a little bit, but it never stops. Hair loss, if it's male pattern baldness, it never truly stops. So people are losing hair when they're like 50, and I've seen people that have Norwood 1, like even Norwood 0, full set of hair until like they're like 35, 36, and then all of a sudden they just boom, Norwood 7 in few years, so you never know. Like they call it what? Norwood Reaper. Norwood Reaper, he does not give a crap about, who are you? Would you consider ongoing frontoplasty forehead surgery? Definitely no, man. Flap surgery? Why would I do it? Like, some people saying like, oh, your forehead is big. Like, okay, so what? Mind your own business. I don't give a crap about my forehead. I'm just joking, but like, I never seen it as a problem. My forehead, I don't think my forehead is big, to be honest. It's pretty standard. And no, I would never go for such surgery. Like, I have a possibility of have a linear scar in here. Like, why would I do it? No, man. My barber is 22. He's Norwood 5. It stopped in Norwood 5, and he's scared to do hair transplant. I think he should be scared. He's right to be scared. It's a bit early. 24, have substantial amount of hair, and I'm slightly losing the left side temple. What Norwood is this? Well, if you're losing at one temple, that's... Well, first of all, Norwood scale, Norwood Hamilton scale is just a basic. Like, there is so many variations in life, like every single individual can have a different variation, but it's just an overall assessment. So if you're losing just a little bit on the temple, like, let's actually use the opportunity that I can show my screen and let's have a look. Hold on. Give me 1 second, please. Por favor. 33 viewers, 13 likes. Holy cow, guys. Can you just go ahead and like the live stream? Is that possible? Not that it helps me in any way. Live streaming does like it's not great for a Norwood scale. Okay. So that's a Norwood scale. So Norwood 1, no hair loss. So obviously here it's a little bit rounded, but you know, it can be a little bit straighter, rounder, whatever. Norwood 2, when you start to see a little bit of a recession in the temples. So, but it's very, very small amount. Norwood 3, when the temples are going pretty far. So I would like, it depends. Like, I don't know, you tell me where you are. I cannot tell you, but probably 2, I would say. That's normally when people start to see a little bit of hair loss. So yeah. What was there? Where we were? Do you feel that you have become more confident with your friends, apps, with women, and with any success? Yeah, definitely. Like overall confidence is great. Like I don't need to think about what people gonna think about my hair, you know? Vegan master race. Go for it. I like chicken. I mean eating. Most important question to ask during consultation. Okay, so what is it now? I had a list somewhere. Maybe I don't have it anymore. I was planning at some point to do a video about what kind of questions to ask, but I've got so many ideas, so many videos, I sometimes forget about them. A couple of questions you can ask. Who is performing the surgery? So is it doctor, is it technician, whatever it is, like you need to understand how the less amount of patients per day, the more consistency is gonna be. So you need to know exactly who's gonna be doing your surgery, who did any other surgeries that you see results from. Second question, how many patients per day they have? So again, ties with the first question, so you kind of understand how reliable their results are. Are they using microscopes to determine true single grafts? So obviously you want single grafts and even finer single grafts taken from the ear, around the ears, from the nape of the neck, in the hairline, so it looks natural, and obviously micro irregularities. How many grafts they do a day? So in my opinion, it's important. If it's more than 2,000 grafts, it means the surgeon going to be rushing with extraction. Of course, if the implantation is done via pre-made slits and then 3 technicians are putting the grafts, then higher number of grafts is fine, because 3 technicians can implant much faster than 1 with like DHI, for example. But nevertheless, it's important, to kind of understand. Hairline design, it's like you have to look at it as well by yourself. Do you like them? Are they implanting single hairs actually? You can ask them as well. Then you can ask for real patient reviews. Is the clinic willing to give you like some numbers or some emails or whatever, like a real patient they had, so you can meet them maybe, or like reach out and speak and see the actual real result. And if not, then at least, like look at the forums, Facebook groups, Reddit, whatever it is, everywhere. And obviously, definitely ask for similar cases like yours. Like, if you're Norwood 5 and you see the clinic is doing only Norwood 3, just the hairline, like, you have to ask yourself why they don't do any others. Like, why they're not presenting. Maybe it looks like shit, Like, you need to look at the results similar to yours. Good luck with your channel. No worries, Khaled. Appreciate your time. Yeah, the Norwood Reaper never sleeps, Peter. That's it. Fucking bastard. Have you heard about Darling Butts Clinic in India, and how much would you rate it? Well, first of all, I was planning to go to Dr. Bhatti myself, only because of the budget. Obviously, he was charging. I'm not sure how much he's charging right now. It was €1 per graft, so pretty cheap, to be honest. Of course, it's India, very far away, but personally, I think he's good option to look for. Not, I'm saying you have to go, it's amazing, but just consider it. it's relatively safe if he's doing himself the surgery, because I think his daughter is doing surgery as well, which is cheaper. I would not go for that option. But yeah, he's doing himself extractions, he's doing incisions, texture implanting. As far I think they're doing only one patient a day, so there's consistency. I'm not a big fan of his hairline. I think he's way too conservative. He can create a really good illusion on the big Norwood levels. If you Norwood 5, 6, 7, he really can create a really great illusion of density with like a 3, 4, 5,000 grafts. You know, he really is good at it. But the hairlines are a bit too thin to my liking, and if I would go to him with this fine caliber hair, I'm pretty sure it would look really thin. So, you know, personally, that was my point, like a turning point, why not to go with him. But if you like the results, why not? Like, I think he's a solid option to kind of consider. I like vegan chicken. Yes. I wonder how does it taste? Probably the same, no? Vegan chicken. Holy cow. Oh, what did I do? Yeah, one last question. What's your opinion about derma roller? Man, derma roller, good. Go for it. Check out my channel. I did a couple of videos on derma rolling. I did a derma roller 101, I think, or something like that. It's a long time ago I did this video, but I went pretty much from A to Z, all the basics about derma rolling specifically. What needle length, how often to use, how much even pressure to put. That's something nobody ever is talking about. I gave like a really interesting example how to understand how much pressure to put, to apply, and so on and so forth. Just have a look at the video, really informative. Do you think that your second hair transplant will be the last one? Hopefully yes, but if I will, you know, recede further, so probably I will need another one down the line. I don't mind, but hopefully this second one is gonna set me for, you know, many years in advance. In your opinion, who is top 5 FE surgeons in Europe? Man, there's so many. I would be struggling to say top 5. From the top of my head, Dr. Zarev, amazing results in a big cases if the donor is incredible, which is not the case for vast majority of people, so keep in mind when looking, but he's a really good surgeon. Dr. Lorenzo, amazing. Obviously, Dr. Ferreira, amazing. Dr. Bruno Pinto, amazing results, although I'm not a big fan of his like implantations. He's creating like a little few rows in the very front of hairline, but he's using finer single graft, so it looks pretty good, to be honest. So yeah, solid option. Bruno Pinto, good. Ximena Villa, good. Dr. Maras from Cyprus, really good as well. Dr. Pekiner, Dr. HLC, like, there are quite a few, you know, options that are around the same budget and they're really good. So I would say, just shop around, reach to as many as possible. Oh, Hattingen in Switzerland. These guys are freaking top notch. If I would need FUT, I would just go to them. So yeah, just look at the results and you know, see if you like them and go for the surgeon that, you know, produces good results. I think that it's actually possible for someone hair loss to naturally out of nowhere to stop a Norwood. Of course, like, man, not everyone gonna go to Norwood 7. Like, every single person have their own like a genetic predisposal to specific pattern. Like for me, I can go all the way to Norwood 7, possibly. Some people gonna stop at Norwood 3. That's why I said in the beginning of live stream, if I would be Norwood 3, I'm just gonna forget about medication, do hair transplant, and, you know, leave it behind me, and that's it, move on. So it all depends mainly on your family history, really. So have a look at your father, at your uncles, and your mother's side, everyone like male, and see how they look. What do you think of eugenics? In my opinion, they're great at presenting the results as better than reality. Eugenics are great. They still have multiple surgeries a day, but so if personally, if I would go to eugenics, I would go to with the highest package that is like, it's pretty expensive, like 2.9 euro per graft or something. I think it's including VAT, where Dr. Sethi and Dr. Bansal are involved the most. So I would go for this package, personally. Yeah, but yeah, overall they're good. But I contacted them when I was doing my research, and I didn't have a great experience with their consultants. I found it really unprofessional. They were like laughing. There was like passing because I had a video chat with them through WhatsApp. They've been passing the phone to like 5 different people. Oh, speak to this guy. He's a doctor. I was like, what the hell? Like, man, I don't know. I had a weird experience, but yeah, I think they're good. I'm going for my second hair transplant in beginning of June, hopefully, if this scamdemic is not gonna be, you know, gonna go any further. Dr. Demirsoy already said, great option. Be careful, he can over harvest when doing more grafts overall, because he's doing only 1 day, but his hairlines are really good. He's using mainly singles. I like it overall. It's pretty good, solid option to think about. You have to watch out for that from clinic. They're good at making the before pictures as bad as possible. Yeah, Max, you're absolutely right. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Never trust anyone and be super critical, especially with the clinics. Like clinics will always present the absolute cherry-picked results. That's why it's best to look at actual people like you and I that are just sitting, you know, out there online and just showing their results. That's like the most natural, unbiased, you know, opinion you can get, an actual result. And there is such a little amount of people that are showing in such a different light conditions, in a good quality, with the wind outside, basically whatever I do on my channel. Very little, I never seen it before. So that's why I even one of the reasons why I started this channel, to kind of, you know, give more transparency, basically. So yeah. Hello, I have watched a lot of your videos, found them very helpful. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. By the way, Konstantinos. Before 1 month, I just got my first hair transplant. I'm 29 or with 5, but with a lot of hair for the time. I tried to save it. Good for you, man. Well done on your transplant. Stick with medication. You can possibly prevent for many years. So yeah, good luck on your recovery. Follow your clinic instructions. Mike Tarston results. I never inspected closely, and I don't think he ever showed closely. From on top of my head, how it looks is like AB. He was pretty bald, and now he has hair, and that's it. I don't recall he showed hairline, but he looks good. I think he had a. I don't know. I think he went to Dr. Reddy. I might be wrong, but if you went to Dr. Reddy is pretty good in the UK. I would definitely trust my head with him, so I would assume should be good. Dr. Tsinik in Turkey, Longevita. It's a no from me. I'm not a fan of places that are doing a lot of surgeries, because there's going to be no consistency. You don't know who's going to be operating. It does not mean you're not going to be able to get a good result, but there's a less chance of getting a good result versus a bad result. And from the amount of people I've been talking to and I've seen online, it's not great. You would be surprised how many people are reaching out to me privately and saying this and that, I had this done, what am I gonna do now? You know, so just be careful. Should someone with long hair shave his hair to get best result from the minoxidil? I don't think so. I had really long hair and I was just parting it, like I was just literally parting like this, parting on the side, and then I apply minoxidil here and I just rub it a little bit, wait like 3 seconds, and then I part here and then I put minoxidil. So it was not like a big of a deal, to be honest. I had really long hair, so just, you know, make sure you're applying thoroughly everywhere. Is retrograde alopecia on the side of the head still viable as donor region? Definitely not. If you have a retrograde alopecia, it means the hair is miniaturizing. So if you're gonna transplant it, it's gonna miniaturize as well. That's one of the concerns I had recently when I found a couple of hairs that they look like they're miniaturized, but they might just be super thin. So I'm personally monitoring this area because normally everyone has a finer, like a bit thinner area around the ears and in general on the sides than on the occipital. Occipital bone, occipital area is always like the thickest. There's so many grafts in there, but the sides are always thinner. So worth monitoring, but the good surgeon will identify it and just don't go to these areas. There are a lot of good options with special price from Turkey clinics and Dr. Maras in Cyprus, but I choose one new good option we have here in Greece. We compare it with Dr. Maras, so I give it a chance. Well, best of luck. Is that in Cyprus? Okay. No, hold on, but I choose one. we have here in Greece. Who is that in Greece? Is it Dr. Anastasakis, maybe? I've heard some good things about him. I had the surgery about 2 months ago. Turkey. Unfortunately, I have started watching your videos, and unfortunately, I have started watching your videos, and I'm realizing that I made a choice too quickly. I didn't do it in a large center, but in a clinic that does only one surgery a day. However, the doctor only made the cuts for the grafts, all the rest made. Egon, so there is no problem technicians doing the work, as long as it's consistent. So if the same technicians are doing every patient, and if it's especially it's one patient a day, I would say it's a good chance you're gonna have a good result. Because if they present 10 results and all of them look good, chances are your result gonna be something similar like that, because it's gonna be the same team, the same doctor, they're gonna be doing the same things, you know. But if they would have 8-10 surgeries a day, that's when the problem can be. So should be alright. The Norwood Reaper became less scary when I found out people can go from Norwood 7 to 3 using regular pharma treatments. So I wouldn't say actually it's possible to from Norwood 7 to Norwood 3 to go. Unless you just, you know, crush your DHT to 0 with dutasterate, then use topical antiandrogens, then I don't know, just transition to female, then maybe. Rolandas, love all of your videos. They have been very helpful for me. I'm currently on finasteride minoxidil for a while now and have stabilized it. I'm Norwood 3, the temporal recession. Should wait for 6 months to decide if I should do a transplant. Don't want some minoxidil. Definitely. First of all, I appreciate your support. I'm glad that you find my videos useful. That's the whole point of it. And appreciate your time to taking this time enjoying this live stream. And definitely, yes, you're on the right track. Stay at least 6 months, see what medication can do. It's best to stabilize, and also finasteride can strengthen your hair follicles and miniaturize hair. So when you're gonna undergo the surgery, your hair gonna be stronger, thus minimizing a possibility of shock loss, whether it's temporary or even permanent, because you know it's possible. So yeah. I've seen someone go from bald to full head of hair using a nuclear protocol. Yes, Derek, more plates, more dates. You're gonna be your best buddy with this. He knows a lot about it. I don't know shit about cardiology or whatever it is. Not cardiology, by the way. I'm talking nonsense. Where are you going to do your second? The same. I'm going back to Dr. Ferreira. Freaking hell, guys! I'm so hot here. Oh, what do you think of my transplant? Do you think I need to cut my hair? Look, I've got a brush here. Hold on, let me see myself. You see my mid scalp? If I'm covering like that, looks okay. But if I do like this, hello, hello. You see how bald it is? So some people that are saying, man, you can get away with without a second transplant, like it's a good illusion. I'm really good at creating illusion. Man, this hair is so long, just look at it. It's way too long. I really need a haircut. And that's pretty much the only hairstyle I can do right now. It looks fantastic. Well, I appreciate that. Does the stress affect with the hair loss? Well, it can, but if the underlying cause of hair loss is male pattern baldness, then it would not be smart to blame on stress. I mean, I believe yes, stress definitely can contribute, and if you are prone to hair loss, your follicles are sensitive and weak, then definitely any contributing factor like a stress, bad nutrition, and stuff like that definitely can give more to the overall hair loss. But that's not gonna be never gonna be the main issue. Do a video where you slick your hair back. Oh man, like I can do it right now. To be honest, it's funny, my hair is pretty long, but it does not want to stay. Like it's long, but it's not long enough, if you know. Hold on, I've got gonna be easier with a mirror. You want to see yourself? So let's try. It does not want to stay really. And to be honest, I'm not a fan. It does not look good. Freaking hilarious. Let's try this one. I'm from Lithuania, by the way. Thank you for the good words. There we go. A bit here. That's how I look with the slick back. Looks pretty bad. I'm not a fan. I think to rock this hairstyle, my hairline should be a bit lower, and the temporal peaks should be definitely much more defined. If the temporal peak is gonna be defined, it's gonna look overall good, but like that, I don't know. A man bun? Opa. So yeah, I'm doing just on the side. Oh. How long we've been? Wow, almost 2 hours. That's crazy. And still 30 people watching. Great. What was that? Lol. I do want to add, my father was bald at 29. My mother has fine hair. Show my hair, and you first notice your own hair loss if you have said. I noticed my first I noticed my hair loss when I was around 21. I started slowly receding, and at 26, I think I was already north with 5. So yeah, happened pretty fast. Windy day, all effort goes to drain. Exactly, man. That's why I'm just gonna do my second transplant, and I'm gonna keep my hair much shorter. Right now, I really have to put a lot of, hair product and still try to avoid the wind. Like, it's really not that great, to be honest. It's like, it looks better. It's amazing. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm really happy. I have a hairline. I didn't have a hairline before, but it's still a little bit pain in the bum. Mordy, you bought me a beer. Oh, I appreciate that. Let's see. Mordy, let's see on your word. No, I'm joking. I pay about 2,300 euros for 2,500 grafts that I put in front area, fix my hairline. So my question, if you know, I start topical finasteride, what is the success rate compared to oral? So according to studies, its efficacy is almost the same if it's compounded properly at the right dose and you're applying it properly and you're letting it, the exact amount, which is the problem with topicals. Is like, it's really difficult to, to give a proper amount of the topical on the scalp. But yeah, it can work as well as oral, but the serum DHT is much less than oral. Not much less. I think serum DHT was 60 to 70%, and topical was about 40%. So yeah, it's less. So side effects can be less. You can experience less side effects or none if you experience on oral. But yeah, ideally it should be working perfectly. But oral will always be superior because one, just taking pill and you forget about it, and it goes to the liver and it goes to your body wherever it needs to go, and like, it just 100% works, while topical, if you miss some spots, if you don't put enough, it's not gonna be as good. So when are you having your second hair transplant? Rich T, welcome to the live stream. I'm having on beginning of June, hopefully. Oh man, if I would do a slick back when I was before my hair transplant, that would be pretty terrible. Do you feel like you sped up your balding process in your 20s with other factors? I don't know, difficult to say. He wasn't on Stackers, didn't like the results too much. Well, fair enough. Go ahead, check when else do the same. Yeah, Mordi, thanks so much, I appreciate that. What do you think about the Hair of Istanbul clinic in Turkey? I already did say a couple of words, so just, I think you can just move the live stream a little bit back, but overall, not a fan. They're doing a lot of surgeries per day. I'm not a fan of their approach of finasteride, not taking finasteride, not fan of their... you know what? People probably are like, some people are thinking, who is Hair of Istanbul? Let's have a look. I've got somewhere a picture. Interesting picture. Give me one moment. I'll try to find it. How do I like my desktop? Oh, there you go. Boom. So a friend of mine did this comparison. So I'll let you guess. Which one is a Hair of Istanbul which one is a good hair transplant, which are not a hair transplant, basically a natural hairline. Okay, you got 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 0. Okay. So middle rows, so these three, these are people with no hair loss. Okay? Look at the hairlines. They have very different hairlines. They have micro irregularities, micro and macro irregularities. But they look very natural. They have a lot of baby fine hair, single grafts in the front. So they look good. The bottom is some of the good results from good clinics. Like, look how natural it looks. It looks something similar to the native, non-transplanted hair, basically. Looks pretty good, to be honest. Especially this one is like fucking incredible, and this one. And now look at the top row. Like this one, to be honest, this one is not that bad, but like these two are. Do I need to tell? I mean, in my if that's what you want, then you know what, fine. It's like, personally, to me, it does not look good. Some people claiming that's what they want, but I feel like when you're comparing it side by side, it's just it gets obvious. And the problem with the hair transplant is that like people gonna notice when there is something weird, especially with your hairline. Trust me, like people notice patterns, let's say. So if the donor was poorly extracted, people gonna notice there is like some patterns of extraction. The same goes with the hairline. If the hairline looks a little bit odd, like, because these hairlines, they don't look natural. That's not how people without hair loss look like. So if someone gonna look at your hairline, they're gonna straight away immediately assume something is wrong, and they will not know what's wrong, but they will like, just like something is odd. So personally, I would spot this hairline from a mile away. But again, if that's what you want, then Do you think if you start finasteride at first sign of menstruation, you would maintain your hair? Peter, probably. There is no guarantees, obviously, but I'm pretty sure, like really, really positive, that I would keep so much hair. I would be maybe Norwood Trina right now if I would like started when I just start noticing. So yeah, definitely so far the biggest regret. Starting way too late, but again, better later than never, The left middle is natural on the bottom. First row is hair of Istanbul. Left. Thanks for the answer, top. Hair transplant, mid. No hair transplant, bot. Good hair transplant. There you go. The middle top is pretty bad. Do you think that the COVID might impact on your timeline transplant? What are your views regarding transplant during COVID restrictions? Yeah, definitely. So, especially in the UK where I'm right now, like they did this hotel quarantine, which is not great, especially if you coming after hair transplant. So after hair transplant, you have to be in peace, You have to be comfortable without any stress. You have to have plenty of good food. And basically, like, you need to have all of these things, to look after yourself for the first, week at least. Because it's the crucial for graft survival. And imagine now you're gonna get a hair transplant, and then you go back to UK, and then you go to these hotels where you got 3 meals a day, and they're giving you a freaking sandwich. That's your meal, a sandwich and a banana and a yogurt. Like, and you cannot open the windows for fresh air, and you're stuck in one room for 10 days. Like, I would kill myself mentally, to be honest. And that I don't believe that's a great thing after the hair transplant. So I'm really like thinking, if they're not gonna lift this stupid restrictions like that, I'll probably just gonna reschedule my surgery. Because imagine you're spending all of this time, all of this money, and especially you're spending all of this donor, for a hair transplant, and then you're gonna ruin it. Of course, probably everything is gonna be fine, but there is a chance. So personally, I'm not a fan. That's my opinion. Max, why I waited so long? Well, it's an interesting one. I never thought about having a hair transplant, to be honest. I remember I've seen one guy on Facebook, he posted on like one group. It was not hair loss related, it was just about hairstyle, products, whatever. he posted a picture of his having like a minor tiny hair transplant in the hairline. And I was thinking, wow, this looks good. And then I was like, wait a second. He looks like a regular dude. He looks like someone like me that, at first I was thinking, maybe I can, have a hair transplant as well. Maybe it's not, maybe it is actually pretty accessible. It's not that expensive. So I started doing research. And then that's when I realized, oh, hold on, I can have a hair transplant as well. Why not? So that's why I got obsessed, and I was fucking doing research every day, all day, 24/7. When I wake up in the morning, when I go to work, when I am at work. Don't tell my employer. Actually, they're not my employer anymore. After work, the weekend, all day, every day. I was obsessed, and hence why I've got all of this information. So yeah, that's why. If I was single and try to date, I would definitely act it with more urgency. Yeah, perhaps. Well, I'm going to bed. I go to work tomorrow morning. Keep videos. Appreciate it, man. Thanks so much. Thanks for hanging out. Good night, my friend. I have to go to sleep. Well, thanks so much, guys. Appreciate staying with us. I'll probably just gonna go ahead and wrap this live stream as well. It's been 2 hours. Freaking hell. It's about time to finish and do other things. Finish with my video, finally. Anyways, yeah, guys. Any more questions? Go ahead. Ask. You got... Let's wrap it up in like 2 minutes. Appreciate joining this live stream. I appreciate whatever, watching my videos and liking the videos. By the way, liking the videos always appreciated for the YouTube algorithm, so you can like this video as well. That's gonna be helpful for me. If you have any suggestions for a content, always just give me a shout, drop me an email, put in the comments down below, whatever it is. Always trying to find something interesting topics to discuss. I've got my own list, which is pretty much never ending, but if there is something specific you want me to discuss, why not? I'm more than happy to do it. And what do you think? Shall I do another live stream at some point? I think it actually went pretty well. I was not expecting this success. To be honest, I was expecting having one person. So yeah. Let me know if you want to have another one, maybe next week or something. Maybe we can do it on a weekly basis. Maybe we can discuss. I can share my screen. We can have a look at different videos of clinics or whatnot. There's so many things we can just look at it together and make it educational for others. So yeah, let me know what you think about it. What can you advise to use about daily ads? Daily ads, Minoxidil. What do you mean? Like what to add? Peter, if you could clarify it. You should invite Dr. Ferrer. I wish, to be honest, he's so busy. He's doing all the surgery himself. He's replying to all the consultations himself. So this guy takes ages now. He takes 1 month to reply to email consultations. So I really don't think he will have time, but before my surgery, I'm gonna ask him. Maybe he will be able to, give me 5 minutes or something to give a quick interview or something. I don't know, we will see. Yeah, if something, maybe I'll do a quick live stream during my surgery, if he will allow it. Top 5 clinics that do good work and relatively cheap. I'll think about it. Okay, cool. Well, anyways, thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate your time. I hope you found something interesting and and useful for yourself. If you got any ideas, like I said, comment down below. Comment in any other videos with me. Reach out to me on email or whatever it is. Hope you stay safe. Grow more hair, and yeah, I will see you, I guess, in the next one. Yeah, stay safe.